guys, my name is Wandilemtungu and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are a first-time viewer of the channel, please do consider to subscribe because I bring the most thought-provoking, interesting, very informative topics about this universe, and I am just genuinely like such a fun person. So on today's video, I'll be discussing Miss Universe Philippines versus Miss USA. I know it's kind of a controversial take, but these girls do have similarity between the two of them because they both actually have Filipino heritage. And I thought that doing a video analysis of them both in contrast actually just made so much sense to me because one fandom stands to gain a lot if either of them wins. I do inherently think that they are both such great quality competitors for the Miss Universe crown. They are both so strong and I've been so impressed with them upon arrivals and upon departures that my heart actually is melting for them. With Rbonney Gabriel, I absolutely see this new zest of life and energy coming from her, especially after such a murky year with Miss USA and everything that has happened there. And with Celeste, like I'm definitely seeing this very confident girl stepping into Miss Universe again. I know she did take a bit of a social media hiatus to enjoy herself in LA with her team, but going into Miss Universe, she has actually just been so dazzling to us all who are international community pageant fans. And so for today's video, I will give you a thorough analysis of them both and who I think will actually stand in great chance to take the crown should the two of them hold hands at the finale show. Thank you. So now that you've seen that, I'm going to be giving you guys a review between the two ladies. Okay, so I'm going to start off with interview, and interview is all about, as we know, speaking, your speaking ability and your ability to basically command presence, your ability to showcase that you are a spokesperson and that you are an asset for the brand and that this brand, which is Miss Universe, can absolutely work with you for a full year. Both girls, for me, in terms of interview, come across as a very natural. Particularly with Miss Philippines, Celeste Cortesi, I do think that she is a bit more natural in an interview setting. She's a bit more relaxed. She feels chill. She absolutely just she feels like she's someone who I can have be my friend and we just can communicate for hours and hours on any topic at all. Like, I do feel that there is that layer of relatability to her candidacy or her overall profile. And with Miss USA, Rbonney Gabriel, I do think that Rbonney is a bit more charismatic when she speaks. She has been doing a lot of interviews this week. She did an interview with the Road to Miss USA. She did one with former Miss Universe 2006 or 2007 from Canada. And she also did one with Hey Adam G, the popular Filipino pageant blogger. So yeah, from those interview segments and from other interview videos that I've basically watched of Rbonney Gabriel, she does come across as very charismatic and very conversational. And it's no secret that girls from the Miss USA organization or from the USA actually are just really great interviewees. So in my opinion, I think based on interview and at Miss Universe level, I think I would give that to Rbonney Gabriel. She does have the gift of the gab. Celeste is not a bad speaker at all. I just think between the two of them, if someone had to impress at interviews, it would probably be USA. Okay, so on to the next phase of competition, which would naturally be finals, starting off with swimsuits. I am so excited to talk about this because not only is Celeste, Miss Universe Philippines, such a silent, well, she's just such a clear killer, I mean, at swimsuit. She won Best in Swim, I think, at her national pageants. And yeah, just the footage from that performance at her nationals, it was really like she actually gave that she was the one to beat that night. She is so smooth on stage. She actually feels like she's gliding on stage. Like, she's very sultry. And I've seen other videos of her as well preparing for Miss Universe in swimsuits, and I gotta say that they definitely amped up her level of fierceness. I do think that Celeste will be a formidable competitor when it comes to online, or I mean on stage rather, well, both events. Either way, she was a standout online in terms of swimsuits. But I feel that she will be a formidable competitor on stage as well, because she has such an amazing team who has prepped her in this aspect or essence really, really well. I mean, if you look at the documentary or the series about Miss Universe Philippines and her preparation journey, yeah, you can really tell that MEPH has really invested heavily on every single aspect of Celeste's training. So I'm really super excited to see her. Whereas with Miss USA, Rbonney Gabriel, I do think that she absolutely slays at swimsuits. I also watched her nationals performance at Miss USA, and there she was the clear standout for swimsuits. Just turns and how just effortless her presentation was. Then I think for me, Miss Philippines Celeste does have an upper hand in this regard, so she would win best overall in swimsuit for me. Only because with Rbonney, I feel that the girls are very limited on what they could actually do on stage at Miss USA. So yeah, I'm really excited to see Rbonney's growth. She is a really great performer on stage as well. She thrives there, but I do think that Celeste right now absolutely has the upper hand in that aspect of competition. Okay, so moving on to the next segment, which would be evening gown, or the gown aspect of the competition. I think it would be neck and neck, which it's just what was so difficult for me to actually decide who would actually, rise to the top, in terms of their overall evening gown presentation and the evening gown itself. I know that Philippines has a disposal, a plethora of designers at her service or need within the Philippines. There are so many wonderful Filipino designers that would absolutely design the most spectacular gowns for Celeste. It is one of the biggest pageants in her country. And I think anyone who is a designer would absolutely scramble to make something phenomenal for a Miss Universe Philippines. So I do think that Celeste, honestly, like from her nationals as well, she had one of the best dresses there. I do think that overall, in terms of her evening gown and her evening gown performance, that she would do it justice. But equally, Rbonney Gabriel actually surprised me with her final Miss Universe, Miss USA, sorry, evening gown. I think it was really nice, and it was actually designed by Rain Fernandez. He is a designer from the Philippines as well, and Rbonney has been cited boasting about her spoil in choice with regards to having 5 evening gowns for her to select from. And I do feel like she absolutely deserves this, just the spoiling of choice in terms of her evening gown selections. And it also just makes it all the more interesting what she will actually wear and how she will actually present herself, because I feel like both girls do such a great job when it comes to presenting themselves at evening gown. Both are super sultry, super sexy, all of these lovely adjectives and verbs that we love to use to describe these girls. And I'm really just so excited to see what they actually bring for us on the table. So for me, they are even, because both, I'm pretty sure, will be using Filipino designers. Knowing that Celeste will also just be bringing someone else who is amazing, and Rbonney will be giving us Rain Fernandez, who is incredible with his beading work and who's worked with her before. So he knows the kinds of design, aesthetically pleasing things that she likes, and how she would like to feel on that stage. But also, I don't think that Rain would ever send out something ill-produced, given that Miss Universe is really a huge platform, and Rbonney is absolutely a standout. So I am just thinking about it. I'm really just so stoked to see what they will be both bringing to the table. So they're at even odds right now. So if you have been tracking or following through with this video, you actually know that, okay, Celeste, she has swimsuits. Rbonney Gabriel has interviewed, and they're both, for me, at least at 50-50, because I'm not sure how their gowns will actually turn out on the final night. Because they gave me something amazing. Right now, I lean towards Philippines because I know the people that will be backing her, or all her sponsors will actually be giving her the ultimate. But at the same time, I can't undermine Rbonney's designer as well in the same breath. So I'm caught. And I think truly the qualifier, as we know it at Miss Universe, is Q&A, question and answer. And undoubtedly, Celeste has needed some bit of work in terms of just progressing her interview and on stage speaking abilities, especially with there being a crowd in New Orleans, an even bigger one, at an even bigger international platform. The last time we watched Celeste, she gave a really heartfelt answer about her family and, just loving on her mom. And I feel that that was sweet and that was enough to win Miss Universe Philippines, but I'm not sure how she'll exactly measure up at Miss Universe. But given the progress that she has been making and the kind of support team that she has and the support of her country, I'm pretty sure that she will be looking towards bringing back the crown towards the Filipina and become the 5th Filipina to win Miss Universe. Likewise with Rbonney, she as well is just such a firecracker. I really enjoyed her at the, it was like a round table discussion at Miss USA, and all the girls basically had questions and answers to answer, and Rbonney got a question on sustainability, and she absolutely was able to tie that into her sustainable fashion campaign and overall just to herself. And yeah, I feel that from her answer she really gave us something worthwhile being talking about. So she really is a good speaker, not necessarily a great speaker, she is a good speaker. She did trend as Miss Texas USA for her answer. I think it was on sexual assault or something in line with that. I'll have to look it up, but just giving the caliber and just thinking about the quality of Miss USA and Miss USA girls in general when it comes to Q&A, they absolutely nail it, because that is something that even at MEO level, they've told former Miss USA contestants that they don't need training in because they've already won Miss USA. Yes, you heard it first on the channel that MEO in the past has told Miss USA girls that they don't necessarily need training for their public speaking, because them winning Miss USA was reason enough for them to actually prove it towards themselves that they are worthy of going to Miss Universe without that kind of help. And just thinking that now Rbonney Gabriel joins that same exact line of thinking or framework, or is in basically a sisterhood of powerful speakers. I am so excited for her, and given that she is charismatic, I do think that if she were to hold hands with Celeste, Celeste would probably collect first runner-up. And this is so interesting because either way, it's not a loss for the Philippines because of this connection that Rbonney Gabriel has with the country. I think it was her dad that is Filipino by heritage, and her mom, I think, is from Texas. But if I'm wrong, you guys can freely correct me. So yeah, she is a Filipino girl who just grew up in the USA, and I do feel that either way, if any one of them were to win, it would still be a win for the Philippines. It would still be a win for Miss USA. And I think that in this predicament of both girls, I do think that they are extremely profitable and marketable for the Miss Universe organization. Sorry, I'm getting my words jumbled up just thinking about these both amazing contestants and them just individually, yet holistically. Yeah, I do think that MEO will stand to gain a lot from kind of both of them. I mean, Celeste has the biggest online presence in terms of Miss Universe delegates by far. The fans are very supportive, and just a host of sponsors from our country sponsoring her, so there would be a lot of marketability and national interest on her end. At the same time, the pageant is being held in New Orleans. I do feel that if Rbonney Gabriel were to win, the USA community at large would really take well to her win, especially with her results at Miss USA being put under question. I do think that the Filipino community internationally would also really just adore her. She is really a charming girl. So yeah, if Celeste and Rbonney were to hold hands, I see Rbonney emerging as the winner, but at the same time, still like this hyper euphoric feeling, I guess, for Filipinos around the world, because that would be a win for them as well. So guys, if you guys have any more girls that you want me to pair them and just compare and contrast between the two girls and what their countries have to offer and what they themselves have to offer going into Miss Universe, I think I would love to do that in terms of content. Yeah, like there's so many amazing girls to follow, and I've been keeping my eye out on all of them. I've actually been telling my friends that like I can actually feel my pageantry anxiety and my excitement, like I'm literally being consumed in content. So it's an amazing time. It feels like Christmas again. Yeah, so with this video ending, please do subscribe to the channel again. Please do comment, you guys. Commenting helps boost the video's overall engagement, and yeah, it helps a lot of other people to come and chat with me and chat with you guys, so we have a plethora of opinions coming from all over the world. Yeah, please do share to your friends, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time with my next video. Bye.